What if I told you that we have now spent $46 billion of your taxes on a project to study deep space? Okay, you would either say, hey, that's great, Sanchez. I want to know more about deep space. Or you might say, I could give a hoot about deep space. All right, keep the money here where we need it for our kids, our schools, and our roads. What you definitely should say is, okay, what did we get for that $46 billion? Good question. Because that's the question we asked ourselves here when we were having our editorial meeting this morning, and Michelle Greenstein's been assigned the distinction of finding out for us. Okay, what'd you find out?
All right, so here's the situation. For the past 15 years, NASA has been working on building this heavy lift vehicle that will take us to the moon and then on to Mars, and also on building the infrastructure between the Earth, the moon, and Mars. Now, this is a beautiful, beautiful goal, right? Sure. It truly is. But according to aerospace analyst Laura Forzik, who just put out a research paper that includes data from fiscal year 2019's budget, we've been spending about $4 billion annually on this program, and we're not really seeing the return. So I reached out to her. Let's see what she had to say about this.
Oh, cool.
That the main purpose of the big NASA heavy lift vehicle program for the human space exploration is to give us, as a country, a big goal to go towards.
So her take is that the real purpose of these programs, these space exploration programs, are symbolic, right? They give us a sense of national pride. They unite the country, like she said, like around this big giant goal. So we've spent, according to her research, $14 billion on the Space Launch System, $16 billion on the Orion capsule, which is what NASA says will take us to the moon, and then on to Mars. What do we have to show for it? Well, the Orion capsule did launch a few years ago, but without a crew, and this was a private launch, and the Space Launch System has yet to take flight. So in terms of crewed flights, we're probably not going to see this for a number of years in the future, and by that time, you know, we'll have spent, well, firstly, we'll have spent 20 years on this program, but also close to $60 billion on this project that we seem to have already done in 1968. So I asked Laura Forzik about this. Let's see what she had to say.
You can't really say that what NASA is trying to do now is already done in the 60s, because the technology is different and the mission behind it, although similar, is different. So the Saturn V rocket was fantastic for its time, but it was limited. There's just an argument as to how much money should be spent on one way versus the other, or on one project versus the other.
The moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. The only limit to human future is in our own imagination.
It seems like what she's suggesting is that NASA and these grandiose projects are being used for political posturing, right? Let me stand in front of the American people and say, oh, I'm going to get us, you know, a la JFK, to the moon, or I'm going to do this and that. But in the end, it doesn't accomplish anything.
Right, and every president kind of makes an announcement like that. And she would actually agree with you. She was quoted in Ars Technica yesterday saying that these are political projects, not practical ones.
That's an interesting point. Hey, good stuff. Good reporting.
Thank you.
You serious?